Headmaster Dr. McEwen, Deputy Headmaster Mr. Davies, invited guests, staff and fellow students. It is with great pleasure that I introduce the prefix theme in 2019 of Footprints. The theme of Footprints incorporates many different messages that are all vital to becoming a man of good character that the Hutchins School develops and is renowned for. It could be messages about how your actions shape the person that you become, or messages about how important it is to be mindful of the impact that you have on the people around you and the environment. The theme of Footprints means many different things. These different perspectives and interpretations would be addressed by the Year 12 students across the year. To me, the theme of Footprints represents how we are all individuals. The person to the left of you most likely has a different shoe size. The person to the right of you is a different height. We are all completely different, and your footprint on the world will be different to the next person. Individuality, I believe, is well explained by the philosopher Henry David Thoreau. In his book, Walden, Thoreau says, "If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away." His words propose a challenge to society, to move away from judgment and negativity and dare to be different. The challenge to every one of you is to accept yourself for who you are, and to most importantly, accept other people for who they are. Thoreau's words emphasise that it is perfectly okay to be unique, and that being an individual is natural. If a person does not follow or conform to what is popular, they perhaps have a different purpose, a different goal in life. They follow a different drummer. People should not be afraid of following what their heart desires just because it is different. They should be encouraged to follow their dreams, and encourage other people to do the same. The pressure to conform is everywhere. With the use of social media, models, athletes and music artists create an image that is considered cool by society. And if you do not support this image, you are considered an outcast. We are all young men who are growing and learning about who we are and what is important to us. During this time of our lives, it is easy to get caught up by worrying about what other people's views and opinions are of us. We conform to what society thinks is good, and we live, hoping to meet the expectations of others. The fear of not being perceived as good enough by someone else is what restricts us from being ourselves. I'm sure there has been a time in your life where you have wanted to try something new or talk to someone who you may not know, but you have chosen not to because you were afraid of what other people may think of you. To do this, it takes courage. With last year's theme being courage, it is important to reflect on the messages that Fergus and the prefects delivered. Courage is not about putting your life at risk and being the hero. Courage is about staying true to yourself and being able to be that same person no matter the circumstance. I promise you that feeling of staying true to your values and openly being yourself, that feeling of authenticity will far outweigh any word of criticism. I challenge you, as members of the school and broader community, to not judge someone for doing what they are doing, just because it is different. The reason I talk to you today about individuality and being proud of your differences is because I've spent a large portion of my teenage years learning a good lesson about this. When I was in grade 6, my brother was the school captain of this school. I became more aware of his legacy that he had left behind. I grew up idolising my brother's legacy. He had achieved so much during his time at Hutchins. Sometimes I would sit in my room and look at his blazer and think, how? This was to no fault of my brother. He probably had no idea that this was the case. And as I found out more and more about what he had done, I grew a desire to be better than my brother. I found myself doing things just so I could be perceived as better than him, not for the sake of my own enjoyment. By trying to fulfill my brother's legacy, I was not focusing on my own goals and ambitions. After a while, I did not have that feel-good feeling inside when I had achieved something. because I was not doing it for myself. Once I realised that this was the case, I spent a lot of time thinking about what it is that I enjoy doing. What were the things that I cherished? It was when I was able to reflect and be mindful of my actions that I realised that I was not making my own footsteps. I was simply trying to fit into someone else's. Maybe you idolise your older brother. Maybe you idolise one of the Year 12 boys. Or maybe you idolise someone completely different. Whoever it is, remember that their footprint is not a perfect footprint for you. The perfect footprint could be found anywhere. It's raw and unchanged. It is real. But most importantly, it is yours. Your footprint is like your character. It's unique because it is yours, and only yours. You should not feel ashamed of or afraid of who you are, because you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. I believe that standing out from the crowd is something that you should be really proud of. If this is you, you are most likely a risk taker. You are more likely to try new things. You are more likely to move out of your comfort zone. I believe that by being different, you leave behind a unique legacy. I'll give you an analogy. There are more than 10,000 beaches in Australia. Some of these beaches would have footprints of millions of people made on them each year. The busy beaches reflect how a lot of people like to stay in situations where they are comfortable. And being comfortable is okay. But if you're always in your comfort zone and you are not making a noticeable footprint. By staying in your comfort zone and conforming to what is popular in society, you create a legacy that is similar to many other people. You make your journey across the beach and you leave a footprint behind. But shortly after, your footprint has faded amongst the rest. And then there are the beaches that have footprints made by one or two people every year. This reflects the people who take risks. They try new things and they move out of their comfort zone constantly. No one has a legacy similar to yours. It is like footprints on a remote beach. Your footprints do not fade away quickly. They are not lost amongst the crowd of other footprints. Your legacy lasts and is only faded with time. And when someone comes across your legacy, your footprint, they are able to appreciate how you've had the courage to move out of your comfort zone and try new things. My wish for you is that you feel comfortable being yourself no matter the situation. That you understand the importance of accepting people for who they are, no matter how different to you they may be. Follow the beat of your own drum. And don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd, because that is an important part of leaving behind a legacy that is unique. Stay true to yourself and accept other people for their differences. And you, my friends, will be good men. Thank you.